On September 26, hearings began at the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, in the case of Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva, who tested positive for trimetazidine in December 2021 during the Russian Championships. The maximum possible punishment demanded by WADA and ISU is 4 years. Most likely, the time served will start from the date of the positive doping sample, therefore, the disqualification will end in December 2025. Taking into account extenuating circumstances, Valieva may be banned for 2 years. The skater's side agrees to this, though without cancelling her results. In this case, Kamila will be able to compete as early as in the new year 2024. Of course, both a reprimand and absence of strict disqualification and a full acquittal are possible, but even Ruzada does not agree with a full acquittal. After the meeting, American journalist Christine Brennan wrote a column from the scene. So far without any insights. No one said a word to the few reporters gathered at the door of the Court of Arbitration for Sport headquarters. Again, no one expected them to. The magnitude of this moment, which has now lasted 596 days, is known to everyone. After 3 or 4 days of closed hearings this week, followed by another month or 2 of deliberations and opinions, a decision will finally be announced. Valieva will be found guilty or not guilty, and the official results of the investigation will be announced. The figure skating team competition, which ended on February 7, 2022, will finally be known, Christine Brennan wrote in her column on USA Today. Canadian Megan Demel supported Vincent Zhou, who made a derogatory speech about Russian figure skaters. Well done, Vincent, for standing up for athletes. High-performance sports cannot exist without athletes, and officials are mocking the sport and disrespecting the figure skaters of the US and Japanese national teams who had to leave the Olympics without the very Olympic moment, Demel wrote on her social media page. Ruzada reacted to Vincent Zhou's statement in a very interesting way. For its part, Ruzada will carefully study the American athletes' statements about numerous violations among Russian figure skaters and will conduct an additional investigation if necessary. Hiding from the anti-doping organization the fact of anti-doping rule violations by other athletes or their entourage is an independent violation of the rules. Persons who have knowledge of the ingestion of prohibited substances and fail to report such knowledge to anti-doping organizations in a timely manner are themselves thereby participating in an anti-doping rule violation, i.e., complicity. Thunderous statements to the press, unsupported by any evidence, do not contribute to effective fact-finding and punishment of those responsible. RIE Novosti Sport quoted a Ruzada spokesperson as saying, Jean-Pierre de Mundnard, a sports doctor from France, believes WADA has no evidence to support that trimetazidine affects athletic performance. This drug improves the lives of patients with cardiovascular disease, but definitely not their athletic performance. WADA does not have and has never had evidence to support that trimetazidine affects athletic performance. I defended a wrestler who was caught using this drug. I asked WADA to provide me with the medical protocols on the basis of which it was banned, but never received a response. The drug was discovered in 1964, but it was not listed by WADA until 50 years later. To date, neither the laboratory that produced it nor WADA has conducted a single study proving its effectiveness in sport. There have been no studies proving that trimetazidine improves athletic performance. So WADA is breaking its own rules. Radio-Canada Sports quoted Mundnard as saying, Dimitri Mard does not consider Kamila Valieva's case political. Here it's not a question of whether or not I believe in a positive outcome. It all depends on our side's arguments, how prepared we are and how convincing we will be. It's an adversarial process. Our job is to try to be as honest and persuasive as possible. The mistake, to put it mildly, is a serious one. Therefore, I do not expect anything good from this meeting for us. Political motives? There is no need to look for political motives. It is very easy to look for political motives always and everywhere. When something goes wrong with us, we immediately start looking for political motives. Was it political motives that doping got into her system? Or was it sloppiness, ignorance, stupidity? Or was it a tragic accident? If it was a ridiculous accident, then I go back to what I said earlier, to convincingly and reasonably defend the athlete. For me personally, she remains an honest and clean girl, a great figure skater. But there are anti-doping rules that we have violated, Guberniev said. Lawyer Alexander Dobrovinsky told how he would defend Kamila Valieva in court. If I were defending Valieva's interests in court, I would take a completely different position. I would refer to the fact that the doping dose was so minimal that it weathered very quickly. Secondly, with the help of specialists, it can be proved that it played no role in achieving a sporting result. It is enough to involve qualified chemical laboratories, which can conduct appropriate research. In addition, it was necessary long ago to submit a demand to WADA to recognize the absence of the influence of microdoses of trimetazine on sports results, said Dobrovinsky. We do not know the arguments of the parties, but it is likely that there will be consideration of the extent to which such a concentration of trimetazine could have affected the result. For this purpose, experts and witnesses may be involved. For example, the grandfather of the athlete, says Antselievich, admitting that even the grandfather of figure skater Kamila Valieva may be involved in the hearing. At the same time, the fact that Valieva was 15 years old at the time of the scandal may play in her favor. Because officially she is a protected person, which means that not all the strictest measures should be applied in such cases, says the lawyer. There is a chance if they hear the arguments of the athlete. If they accept that trimetazine was not present in the athlete's sample at all or it got there through no fault of her. I think that taking into account her status as a protected person, they will consider sanctions in the form of a reprimand or 2 years of disqualification, says Antselievich. A separate issue, however, is the Olympic medal, which is the most controversial in this doping case. Antselievich noted that such a case can't be solved at once. Even if Valieva's guilt is established, it does not mean that her medal will be taken away immediately. Only a medal from a competition where an unfavorable sample result is found is automatically taken away. It is considered that the athlete achieved the result under the influence of a prohibited substance, says the lawyer. In this case, many other factors would have to be recalculated. Figure skater Sofya Samodelkina has joined the group of two-time Olympic champion in men's figure skating Yevgeny Plushenko. Honored coach of Russia Svetlana Sokolovskaya believes her choice is the right one. Sofya's transition has nothing to do with the training process, Sokolovskaya said, as quoted by TASS. Sokolovskaya said that Sofya has been training well and is gradually coping with the puberty period. She made a great choice by moving to Yevgeny Plushenko's staff, admitted Samodelkina's now ex-mentor. Figure skater Sofya Samodelkina could give up Russian citizenship for the sake of performing for a new country. This was stated by the executive director of the Union of Skaters of Kazakhstan Alzaz Bispayev. According to him, it is illegal to have two citizenships in Kazakhstan. Most likely, she refused. Yes. We have one citizenship by law, not like you, RIA Novosti quoted Bispayev as saying. Changed sports citizenship figure skater Sofya Samodelkina will be able to start in the near future at domestic tournaments in Kazakhstan. This will be possible even before the local federation will come to the detachment from the Russian Figure Skating Federation, FFKR. At international competitions before the clearance, she cannot perform, but at domestic competitions in Kazakhstan, yes, if she is allowed by the local federation, quotes a source who is well acquainted with the situation publication Match TV.